Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the brand new video. Today I want to go over some frequently asked questions I get on my Instagram, but I can't answer all of them because I get a lot of questions. Also, some of the questions I want to make sure that I answer more in depth because you can only really answer so much on an Instagram story. So that's why I wanted to make this video to kind of answer some of these questions a little more in depth so I can give you better answers so it can help you on your weight loss journey, on your fitness journey. So we're just going to go right into them. Let's just go with this one right here. So how to stay full when trying to lose weight. Guys, this is really important because the reason why you're struggling with fat loss, with weight loss, is because of hunger, right? You're getting hungry, so you start overeating, you eat too many calories, and then you find out that you're not in a calorie deficit, which is required to lose body fat, and you end up being frustrated and you end up quitting altogether. So what I would say is, how do you stay full while trying to lose weight? What you can do is increase your protein intake. Increasing your protein intake is super important because protein is the most filling macronutrient, right? You got fats, carbs, and protein. Protein is going to be the most filling one. So if you're struggling with hunger while you're trying to lose fat, what you should be doing is you should be eating more protein. So an easy way to eat more protein, couple ways. First, you can prepare protein ahead of time. For example, lean meats, chicken, fish, ground turkey, lean ground beef, stuff like that. You can prepare it ahead of time, cook it up, right, on a Sunday or whatever day, maybe you have off work or some free time. What you can do is you prepare the protein, right, and then you just have it in a big Tupperware, throw it in the fridge or even throw it in the freezer, right? And that way when you come home from a long day or whatever it may be, you can have plenty of protein right there. You just put it on your plate and you're good to go. And don't be scared of protein. Protein is your friend. Protein, protein, protein. Have some with each meal. And when I say have some, it really depends on how much protein you're aiming for. For example, let's say you weigh 150 pounds, right? 150 grams of protein is fine. If you weigh 200 pounds, 200 grams of protein is fine. Honestly, once you start getting past 200, you don't need to eat 250 or 300 grams of protein, especially if you're someone with more weight to lose. Also, eating more low-calorie foods are going to help fill you up. For example, fruits and veggies, right? They're so low in calories that you can eat a lot more of them, and that's going to help keep you full. But if you're just eating peanut butter or kind of chips and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to stay full because you're going to eat some, right? It's going to be a lot of calories, but you're not going to be full. So what I would say is focus on low-calorie foods, low-calorie options, things like that, fruits and veggies and salads and foods that you can eat a lot more of, like spinach and broccoli and stuff like that. That's going to help you stay full for not a lot of calories. Next question I'm getting is, people see results on keto. Should I do it? Is it a good diet? Well, here's the thing about keto. Guys, I used to do keto back in 2016, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it kind of sucked, to be honest. I thought it was magical. I thought, hey, if I just ditch these carbs, well, then I'm just going to magically lose this body fat. Well, that's not what happened. I still have to eat in a calorie deficit, right? Oh, I can just eat all the eggs and bacon and I will just lose body fat. Well, no, that's not how it works. The way keto works is, you're a high fat, medium protein, low carb diet. And what that means is you're eating mostly protein and fat. And those nutrients are very filling and satiating. So what's going to happen is that's going to help you stay in that calorie deficit. Now, what I would say is there are some pros to keto, right? It can help some individuals. It could, keep you full, like I said, due to the fact that you're eating mostly protein and fats, which help keep you full. Also, another thing is, once people are fat adapted or in ketosis, they find that they're not as hungry. But here's the thing, there are many cons, in my opinion, to keto. First of all, it's very limiting, right? It's very restrictive. It's a restrictive diet. Guys, if you are following a plan or a diet or whatever it may be, and you don't see yourself doing it for a long period of time, well, then that might not be the best diet for you. I mean, cool, how long can you cut out carbs for? How long can you eat only 20 grams of carbs for? Especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, you know you're gonna need to be dieting down for quite some time. So why not go a sustainable route? Well, why are you trying to find that shortcut? Because the thing is, you know, if you ditch all these carbs, if you make carbs out to be the devil and the carbs are the worst, the thing is, carbohydrates are really beneficial for us, especially if you're someone who engages in activity throughout the week. Carbs are gonna help give you that push, that endurance, that energy throughout your workout. So just know that there are cons to it. There are a couple pros for sure. You're more full, I guess, and that's gonna help you stay in that calorie deficit. But if you're doing keto and you're overeating, you're not going to see results. It comes down to calorie deficit. That goes for any diet: keto, intermittent fasting, paleo. It doesn't matter what you're doing. What matters most of all, the most important thing, is the calorie deficit. All these diets help you create one and stay in one, but if you don't like doing keto, if you find it restrictive, well then don't do it. That's my answer. You know, some people see results with anything. That doesn't mean you have to do it necessarily, okay? Next question here. Can I just eat whatever I want and be in a calorie deficit to lose weight? Well, here's the thing with that. Guys, can you eat whatever you want? Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the the professor, I believe, who just ate Twinkies in a calorie deficit and protein shakes, and he lost weight, he lost body fat, right? And that's awesome. He ran an experiment and he lost body fat eating junk food, and yeah, that was great, but it's not really sustainable long term. Now, you could technically do this, but I wouldn't recommend it for your health markers, for your overall health and your overall well-being. I mean, for example, if you just eat Oreos all day and you're in a calorie deficit, yes, you will lose weight, you will lose fat for sure, but you also lose muscle, you won't feel well. But what I would say is, technically, yes, if you just eat Oreos in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight, but I don't recommend doing that just for the fact that, you know, you want to feel good, right? And how do you feel good? You feel good by eating mostly nutritious foods, filling foods. If you just eat junk food and fries and burgers, if that's all you eat in a calorie deficit, you're gonna find yourself hungry. You're gonna find yourself kind of burnt out because you're not gonna be feeling great. And I want you to be feeling great while losing fat. Now, you don't have to feel miserable. You could be feeling great, right, by eating fruits and veggies and lean protein sources. Of course, you can include those fun foods, right? You can include those into your plan, but should you eat only French fries and cupcakes and cookies all day long while being in a calorie deficit? Probably not. There are going to be some days where most of your food is probably not the greatest, but you're still in that deficit, and that's okay. But for those long-term habits, building those up, eating mostly nutritious food is the way to go. You want to lose the fat and keep your muscle. Muscle is so important. And if you're just eating whatever you want and you're not eating enough protein and you're not lifting weights, what's going to happen is your muscle is going to go along with your fat, and you're not going to be happy with the physique you end up having. Because if you lose all your muscle, I mean, that sucks, right? Your metabolism is going to lower because, you know, having more muscle is going to raise your metabolism, right? So you want to make sure that you are keeping your muscle while losing fat. And the way you do that is by eating high amounts of protein, like I said before, and lifting weights. So if you want to lose weight, yes, you can get away with it by just doing a calorie deficit and eating whatever, but I don't recommend that simply because it's not sustainable. And I'm all about sustainability. What are your views on cheat days? Should we have them? How often? This question a lot. People say, hey, Vach, I'm always seeing you eat mostly clean food or nutritious food. Why is that? Why do you have cheat days? How do you do that? Well, the thing is, I don't really have cheat days. The reason being is because my diet right now, I'm just eating kind of whatever I want. Not necessarily just eating fries and all that stuff, but if I see food and I want it, I'm gonna eat it, right? Mostly nutritious foods, don't get me wrong. I love eating protein, I have plenty of fiber, plenty of fruits and veggies, but I will definitely incorporate some ice cream or some chips in there, definitely. When I first started losing weight, where I would view certain foods as good or bad, right? I would have these huge cheat days and I would look forward to them because I was tired of having boiled chicken and broccoli all week long. I would look forward to these glorious cheat days. And when I finally got my hands on them, I started binge eating, right? I started overeating on all those delicious foods that I deprived myself of. But why? Well, because I convinced myself throughout the week that I couldn't have those foods. And that was, led me down a dark path, right? When it comes to disordered eating and stuff like that and binge eating. And the way I beat this is by slowly incorporating those fun foods into my diet throughout the week instead of just constantly thinking about those foods, because it's not healthy to constantly deprive yourself of your favorite foods, right? If you have, thinking of Oreos or some ice cream, if you just think about it and keep thinking about it and you say, no, I can't have it, after a while, what's going to happen is you're going to get your hands on it and you're going to eat the entire tub that could have been prevented if you just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a little bowl of some ice cream on Wednesday night. Yeah, then you're good, right? You had that, you tackled that craving, right? And you didn't go overboard with it. If you need to have a cheat day, if you feel like you need to cheat on your diet, well, in my opinion, that means you have a really restrictive diet. That means you have a rigid diet that you might want to switch up. Because if you are sick and tired of your diet throughout the week, how do you expect to keep it up week after week to lose that weight? How do you expect to stay on the right path if you're constantly thinking about cheating or breaking on your diet, right? Like getting away from it. What I recommend is actually eat food and cook food you look forward to eating every day. I mean, yeah, some days you might not eat the best foods, but you are in control of the foods you're eating, right? You could spice it up. You can use different seasonings. You don't have to eat boiled chicken and broccoli, right? You can actually eat delicious foods, right? You can use seasonings or low-fat sauces, sugar-free sauces. They make plenty of those. But also what I want to say is don't feel bad if you have chips or a serving of this or some ice cream. It's totally fine, and I honestly recommend having it throughout the week instead of depriving yourself and then having this 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calorie cheat day that's going to offset your progress throughout the week. I don't want that to happen to you. It's really common. The thing is, you can diminish or you can just totally ruin your progress if you have a huge cheat day. I would say maybe try to keep it to a meal if you're into that kind of stuff. But the thing is, it totally depends, right? Let's say that you are on a 500 calorie deficit every day. For the first 6 days of the week, that's 3,000 calories that you burn throughout the week. And then on that last day, you have a huge cheat meal of 4,000 or 5,000 calories, right? Cheat day. What's going to happen is you're just going to lose all that progress you made throughout the week. So really ask yourself, is a cheat day worth it? If you have a cheat day right now or a cheat meal and everything is going great, I think that's fine, right? But if you're viewing certain foods as good or bad and you can't have certain foods and you got to wait till a certain day to eat those, well, then you might want to reconsider, okay? Me personally, if I want to eat something that's unhealthy, whatever you want to call it, I'll eat it. I'll just work it into my numbers, and I'll make sure that maybe I'll just eat less with my other meals, right? I'll just include it into my numbers and I'll make sure it fits, because that's why energy balance is just so important. Great question here, Ed. How do I calculate my calories? I already made a video on this, but I'll go over it again for you guys here. So what you want to do is you want to take your body weight in pounds. For example, let's say you weigh 200 pounds. Make it easy for me on the math, right? 200 pounds here. And you want to lose fat. What you can do is multiply your body weight, so 200 in this example, by 10 through 12, excuse me. So 10 being if you're sedentary, right? If you are someone who isn't very active at all and who isn't really exercising, right? That would be 10. And if you're someone who's active almost every day and is really pushing themselves, then 12 would be what you multiply your body weight by. So for someone who multiplies by 10, that would be 2,000 calories a day. And by 12, that would be, well, I'm just gonna put it up right here, whatever that number is, okay? So you would eat in a range of those numbers, eat around that number, and do it consistently, and you should start seeing results. But what I would say is the biggest thing for fat loss, for weight loss, for building muscle, whatever your goal is, I would say is consistency, right? There's gonna be times where you slip up. There's gonna be times where you have a bad weekend, right? Maybe you don't exercise at all and you ate way too much, but that's okay. As long as you get back on track, that is the most important thing. That is the toughest thing to do. So if you're struggling with seeing results, what I can say is just try your best to be consistent, because that's what's going to get you results. You don't have to be perfect when it comes to fitness, when it comes to weight loss, but you have to be consistent. You definitely have to put in the work. So if you guys need any extra help, if you like the video, let me know below. And if you guys can like the video, it helped me out a lot. But yeah, hope these questions helped you out. And yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. I can answer them in the next video. Peace out, guys.